Those lines painted on the road, they're not just decoration, they're one of the main ways the road communicates with drivers. Lane markings guide where you should drive, when you can pass, and how to stay safe. In this video, we'll break down the colors, the patterns, and even the special markings you'll see, so you can read the road like a pro. Let's start with the basics. Colors. Yellow lines separate traffic moving in opposite directions. If you see yellow, it means traffic on the other side of that line is coming towards you. White lines separate traffic moving in the same direction. If you see white, it means the cars next to you are traveling the same way you are. That's also why you won't see yellow lines on a one-way street. Since every car is headed the same way, only white lines are needed. So just remember, yellow means opposite direction and white means the same direction. Let's break down yellow center lines. A solid yellow means no passing. It's placed where crossing into the other lane isn't safe, like on hills, curves, bridges, or anywhere you can't see far enough ahead. Bottom line, stay in your lane. A broken yellow line means you're allowed to pass, but only when it's safe. And remember, yellow means opposite directions. When you cross over a yellow line, you're moving into the lane of oncoming traffic. That's why you must be extra careful when passing. You need a clear view ahead, no hills or curves blocking your sight, and plenty of distance to pass and get back into your lane without cutting anyone off. Colorado law even says you must finish your pass at least 200 feet before an oncoming car in town and 1,000 feet on highways. So when would you pass? Usually it's to get around something moving much slower than the speed limit, like a tractor, a truck, or a car holding up traffic. Passing is meant to keep traffic flowing, not to make up time because you're in a hurry. Sometimes you'll see a solid yellow next to a broken yellow. The rule depends on your side. If the line closest to you is broken, you may pass when it's clear. If it's solid, you may not. And double solid yellows? Nobody passes either way. So remember, driving next to a solid yellow means no passing, and driving next to a broken yellow means you can pass if it's safe. As we know, white lines separate traffic moving in the same direction. A broken white line is what you'll see on most roads and highways. It means you can change lanes when it's safe, just signal, check your mirrors, check your blind spot, and move over smoothly. A single solid white line means you should stay in your lane. Crossing a solid white line is discouraged because it can be unsafe or confuse other drivers. You'll often see these before turn lanes, on highway ramps, or marking bike lanes. With bike lanes, you should only cross that solid white line when you're preparing to turn, and you must yield to cyclists first. A double solid white line means lane changes are strictly not allowed. You'll see these separating HOV lanes, toll lanes, or express lanes from regular traffic. Crossing them is illegal. So remember, broken white lines mean lane changes are allowed if it's safe. A single solid white line means stay in your lane, except when carefully turning across a bike lane. And a double solid white means no lane changes at all. Next up, let's talk about shared center turn lanes. These lanes are found in the middle of the road, marked by solid yellow lines on the outside and broken yellow lines on the inside. They're designed for left turns only. When you're planning a left turn, you first signal, check your mirrors and blind spot, and then move into the center lane. Once you're in, you stop and wait for a safe gap. Always yield to oncoming traffic before turning. But remember, traffic coming from the opposite direction can also enter the same lane to make their left turns. That means you could be sharing it nose to nose with another car. You both wait until it's clear, then make your turns. What you can't do is use the lane to pass, to merge into traffic early, or to drive down it for blocks. The rule is simple. Use it only when you're ready to turn left. Quick in, quick out. Now let's talk about sharrows. A sharrow is a road marking with a bike symbol and two arrows painted on the lane. It doesn't create new rules. Cars and bikes always share the road. A sharrow is simply there to remind drivers to expect bikes in the lane, especially on roads without a designated bike lane. When you see a sharrow, you may find cyclists riding more towards the center. They're allowed to take the full lane for their safety, especially if the road is too narrow for a car and bike to ride side by side. As a driver, you must give cyclists space. Colorado law requires at least 3 feet when passing. That means you never try to squeeze past them in the same lane. If you want to pass, move fully into the next lane when it's safe, just like you would for any other vehicle. So remember, sharrows highlight that bikes use the same road. Give them space, expect to see them, and always allow at least 3 feet when passing. Our last marking is green painted lanes. You'll mostly see these in bike lanes. The green paint is used to increase visibility and highlight areas where drivers and bikes might cross paths. These are potential conflict zones, places like intersections, merge areas, or bike boxes in front of stop lines. The green doesn't change the rules of the road, but it does signal that you need to pay extra attention. Slow down, check for bikes, and make sure it's clear before moving across that space. So remember, green paint means extra visibility in conflict areas. It's your cue to watch out and share the space safely. We've covered a lot: yellow lines, white lines, shared center turn lanes, sharrows, and green painted lanes. Each one is part of the road's language, guiding drivers and helping everyone stay safe. Now that you know what they mean, you can do more than just drive. You can read the road.